Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Slice of Shonen. I am your host, The Cloudy Crown. Today, we'll be reacting to Summertime Render episode 11. And in the last episode, we got quite the wild episode indeed. So it starts off with Shinpei and the gang heading over to So's. I believe So said it was his father's old house or something like that. And they head over there to try to look for clues. They end up finding a bunch of like Scooby-Doo mystery, like secret entrances and stuff. And that entrance ends up leading them to this like sewer area. And as they go down into the sewer, Ushio points out that she can kind of detect a bunch of shadow signatures. So they have to be careful that they don't get ambushed and stay on their toes. And so they walk forward and they immediately encounter their first shadow, which is a pretty bizarre one. It looks like a giant, like blackish purplish baby with half a head. It's like its head is exposed and you can see everything that it is inside of it, but of course it's not human. It's like this like glowing blue sort of half of a brain inside of his head. I don't know what the heck I was looking at, but soon enough that thing ends up detecting us, and so we have to fight it and finally take it out. And then after that, we continue down the sewer and we take a path that leads into this like cave area. And once we get in there, it's pretty quiet. Ushio immediately mentions that she now detects like a bunch of shadow signatures all around them. And then next thing you know, we're suddenly being ambushed by like 12 of these half-headed babies that are all trying to take us out. Now, I don't know if we stepped into the shadow's nest, the shadow den, the shadow headquarters. I have no idea what's going on here, but clearly all of these like shadow babies were here for a reason, and I don't know if they were waiting for us or what, but hopefully we can find out more in this episode. And a part of me is a little worried that this might be the end of the current timeline that we're in, because how the heck are we gonna make it out of here? That one baby was already extremely agile and extremely dangerous, so having like 12 of these things surround us, like how are we gonna take out all of them with just a bat, a nail gun, and a girl that can like fight with her hair? I mean, maybe Ushio has the best chance out of all of us. But anyways, if you guys are excited for the episode, make sure to leave a like. It'll help me and the video out so much more than you might think. So if you could take the time to do that real quick, I would very much appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to the channel for more weekly summertime render reactions. But with that all out of the way, if you would like to check out my uncut reactions, you can find them over on my Patreon, which all of you guys can join for as low as $2. And without any further ado, we'll be starting this in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. We're back with Hizuru and the old man, the shadow expert. This man has probably been fighting them off for decades at this point. Or at least studying them, maybe. Ah, and of course, as they're focusing on this, like, what's it called, a manhole cover? We immediately pan down to what's going on in the sewers. Like I said, man, Ushio has the best chance here. Okay, Shinpei, putting in work too. So's bat isn't really gonna do much to them, though, as we saw during the first fight. Oh? Oh, her arm is still messed up from the Shadow Mio. What are these babies? Interesting. Especially these guys, because we know that shadows are very protective of their shadows, and so light is probably one of their biggest weaknesses. Alright, everyone's putting in work here today. Let's go, Shinpei. Oh, wow! What the heck? Were they already planning to come down here? I don't know. Maybe I missed it. We're getting close to their nest, so it is the nest. Wait, so what the heck is going on here? Are these babies like shadows in development? Maybe? How the heck does a shadow like have babies? What? Why do they have half heads? There's so many questions that we need to answer here. And I don't know if we're gonna get them anytime soon, but this is very strange, especially because we saw earlier in the series that at least one way a new shadow can be born is by well, I don't know. I don't know why, but my memory is getting a little fuzzy. Earlier in the series, we saw Shadow Mio, and she like bumped into the officer, and she like scanned him, and wait, I don't even, dude, why is it so hard to remember what happened back then? It was like episode 2 or 3. But dang. All I know is we got the shadow version of that officer that appeared behind her and took out the actual officer and kind of pretended to be him. So I thought that was the way that the shadows multiplied. Like maybe their mother was, she created the first shadow and then they just multiplied by copying people. But now it seems like there's actually a nest of them and there's babies and everything. Yep. Now she can't get a hold of Shinpei. What is that? That's obviously bait though, right? Someone or something. Oh! What? I thought we got rid of her! That is so bizarre. And here's the officer. Man, seeing Mio and the officer next to each other brings back, like, PTSD from earlier in the series. What is going on here? Is that, like, Shioti's ghost? Or something? Wait, no, he saw her too! Well, then again, I don't know why the ghost would only be visible by Mio, so it kind of makes sense. But this definitely isn't the shadow, right? Because we took her out with Hizuru. I mean, it is open. Then again, I don't know if I'd be brave enough to check and find out. Yeah, see, I'd be right next to him, like, oh, wow, would you look at that? I got a officer meetup to go to, even though I'm the only officer in the area. No? Okay, okay. Making it a little bit more enticing. Oh, she knows exactly where to hit him. Yeah, look at that. Say no more. An ally of justice. She's not wrong though. Alright, so Where the heck are we? What is this shadow nest and how does it function? How do shadows breed? Although, do I really want to find out? I don't know if I want to see that. Especially with how these half-headed babies look. What? So there's even shadows of like sea life. Someone printed the sea here. Did he just taste it, bro? What is going on? I probably just would have dipped my finger in and been like, yep, water, it's wet. That's definitely water. Her arm? Sounded like her stomach grumbled. Again? That's what I'm saying. She was literally full. She almost looked pregnant from how much she ate. That was a full-blown food baby and she's still hungry. Yeah, how do we go about fixing it though? Oh, do we gotta take her to Oshio's corpse? Oh, oh yeah, she was cremated. So she just has to live with that wound. No way to heal her. That's interesting to know though. So if a shadow ever gets injured, they could go back to the original person and scan their data. But it's a pretty common pattern that most of the shadows take out the originals. What? Oh, I wonder if the shadow for her was created when that officer approached her and Mio. Because I knew it was fishy. I could have swore the guy with the cowboy hat said he was the only officer in the area. And then we see this random guy come through and show off his badge. That is very eerie. Interesting, and he's not wrong. The only... Well, no! Hmm. Well, he is right. If we take, Ushio and Shinpei's situation into account. Maybe Kizuru's gonna bump into, Mio and the other guy soon. Interesting. Yeah, what was the name of their mother again? The mother of the shadows? I can't remember her name for the life of me. Was it Hiruko? Yeah, I knew it was them. Or maybe it's not, and maybe this is just clever camera work here. You mean it? I wonder if this is the same gate that Hizuru was at. Wait, so it was a shadow? Was it Shioti's shadow? It is! I could have swore we got rid of her. Literally, we pinned her down with the nail gun. And then, what's it called? Then Ushio finished her off. And I thought one person could only be scanned one time. Yeah, see, they even said right there that Mio has immunity, and that's why that's probably why the girl was disgusted. That's not Tokiko. And look, these are some big babies, man. That means she's not afraid. We pinned her shadow. Now what? Oh no. Is it not gonna work? Whoa! Is it the real? It's the real Tokiko! What? What? What is going on? This is the crazy plot twist. This is the real one. We thought you were our friend. She betrayed us. This is the officer we saw. So, is this happening right now, or was that a flashback? Dude, there's so much going through my mind right now. Because if this is going on right now, if that officer's corpse is in his office right now, then that means she must have killed him. But when would she have had the chance to kill him with Mio right next to her? Look at that. These babies are way bigger than the ones we fought earlier. Me neither. Smelling a new timeline soon. You weren't chosen by Dad. Aw, man. This is gonna be a massive, like, knowledge bomb. Oh, I kind of feel bad for him. I mean, what if they are actually just babies following orders? I'd feel kind of bad, but then again, these babies wouldn't think twice about murdering me, so. Dang, Hizuru's kind of tall. You've killed that thing twice now. Exactly. And it seems she remembers us too. Wait, how though? Okay, so that explained. Well, it doesn't make sense. Because wouldn't the hammer hitting the ground, wouldn't that have hurt her severely? Oh, here he is. 14 years. The body that stole mother's right eye? What? So this is Heine. Dude, I feel like we just got so much information in such a short amount of time. This is an episode you gotta rewatch, man, for it to really sink in. Yeah. These are not normal shadows. Hmm. Oh my god! What? Dude, oh man. My head right now. I think the hardest part about like understanding this series is the names, man. There's so many names to keep track of. And I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but for me, I need to hear the name repeated a lot for it to really sink in. And having a face to match the name with really helps, but man. Cause like Ryunosuke, Heine, I'm trying to remember who the heck all these people are. Is Heine Hizuru's brother? I'm guessing one of those names are her brother, and I think it's Heine. So, oh my god, I gotta rewatch this afterwards, man. This is crazy. I don't know if Heine became the shadow or what. Or if that was Heine's shadow. It's so confusing. Kiruko, her stomach rumbles. Interesting. I feel like they're gonna hold it off for next episode. Whoa. Is that her? Okay, so it was her. Okay, okay. Alright. It's good to see I'm on the track at least with something. So, okay, so one big, I guess, question that we need answers to is why they're trying to feed her. Because we saw... Also, what is that? It looked like that was someone's name in the credits that was like, I don't know, censored for whatever reason. I don't know if that has to do with what's going on in the story or if it's always been that way. But this episode was super interesting, man. I'm really gonna have to do my homework and rewatch this to truly understand what the heck was going on, because I feel like we just got so much information that my brain was a bit overwhelmed back there. Especially when we got to the whole, like, that giant four-armed shadow and Shiori. Because I don't know, it was hard to really understand what they were trying to say. It sounded like Hizuru was asking if the shadow, or Hizuru guessed that the shadow was using Shiori's shadow to, like, gather information or something. But then, after that, it seemed like the shadow was taking orders from Shiori's shadow. And also, how the heck did Shiori's shadow survive in the first place? That's the most bizarre part. Because they explain it as when Hizuru brought the hammer down and cracked the ground, she, like, slipped into the crack and, like, slipped away. But how did she survive the impact of the hammer hitting her shadow? Man, I don't know about you guys, but this episode was confusing as heck for me, so I'd highly appreciate it if any of you guys that do understand what happened in this episode could help explain it in the comments section as well. Also, Inu, I'm probably going to be asking you a couple of questions as well, because, man, I feel like whenever I understand, or whenever I get some new information and I'm finally like, oh, okay, this is what's going on, then they introduce another layer to it that makes it even more complicated, and it's like, okay, so that was right, but that wasn't the entire picture, that wasn't the whole story, there's more to it. And trying to put all these pieces together when they're constantly throwing pieces at you. It's pretty difficult, man. I'm not gonna lie. This episode was very information heavy, and definitely gonna have to rewatch to see. And hopefully going into next episode, I can have a much more clear picture of what the heck was going on in this episode. And on top of that, next episode we know is gonna be information heavy as well, because we have Hiruko down here inside of the cave. And it seems like for whatever reason they're like trying to feed her people. We don't know why exactly, but I kind of assumed that this was going to be the case. I kind of thought that, like, maybe this might be one of those situations where they need to serve Hiruko, because if they don't, then she will destroy everything. It's kind of like the lesser of two evils. They're feeding her people so that she doesn't do something even worse. And maybe that thing that is even worse is what we saw a couple episodes back, when she spread her shadow throughout the entire island and just kind of consumed everything in sight. But maybe there's even more to it than that, because clearly So's dad knows what's going on. This girl here, I don't remember her name yet, but the girl with the pink hair, she knows what's going on here. Also, it was a little bizarre to see her. It looked like she was, what is it called, like getting a blood transfusion or something, which is a bit bizarre because I've always thought of her as this like godlike being. So seeing this godlike being hooked up to a machine, getting blood or something like filtered, or not filtered, but funneled into her, it's I don't know, it's maybe she's not like maybe she's not this godlike being. Maybe she just obtained some special powers or something. I don't know. But then again, she was flying. She was literally flying in the air. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, this is complicated. But my question of the day for you guys is going to be... Okay, so earlier into the episode, we see Mio and the officer. Mio gets information that Shinpei is down in the sewer, and Mio then begins to try to kind of convince the officer to come down with her and help look for Shinpei. If you were the officer, do you think you would have the guts to go down there into this sewer? For me, I'm sorry. Call me a coward, call me whatever. I don't know if I'd be able to do it, man. Especially seeing this mysterious, like, ghost shadow figure, like, point down into the sewer. Seeing that the manhole cover is already, like, slightly open, I'd think it was a trap. I'd think I was getting lured into the sewers so that some monster or something could snatch me up. I don't know if I'd be brave enough to go in there, especially because I doubt there's light in the sewer. I doubt it's gonna be very visible down there, and I don't know. I don't think I would have the guts to go down there, but let me know if you would, man. Some of you people out there might be built different. Let me know if you would have the guts to go down there after Shinpei. I wouldn't, but I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. So, with that, I'm going to be ending the episode here. Thank you all so much for watching this far into the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one.